Going live now.
Online now.
Hello, everyone. I'm
Hello,
Sean
everyone. I'm
Fuller.
Sean
Welcome
Fuller.
to Behind the
Welcome to
Comic,
Behind the Comic,
your host for this
your
exciting
host
new
for this
interview
exciting new
series where
interview
we dive
series where
into the
we dive
creative
into
minds
the
behind
creative
some of the
minds behind
most
some of the
intriguing
most
topics out
intriguing
there,
things out
with a
there,
passion for
with a passion for
storytelling, a love
storytelling,
for all things
a love for all
comics.
things comics.
I'm thrilled to bring to
I'm
you
thrilled to bring to
closer
you
to some of the
closer to
creators
some of
and
the
their incredible
creators
work.
and their incredible work.
Today we have our special
Today we
guest
have
today,
our special guest
Alfred
today,
Paige,
Alfred
the
Paige,
mastermind behind the
the
Project
mastermind behind the
C.H.E.S.S.
Project C.H.E.S.S.
And thank you for joining
And
us.
thank
Let's
you for
get
joining
started.
us. Let's get started.
The first thing I like to
The
normally
first thing
start
I
off
like to
with
normally start off
is
with
can you introduce
is
yourself and
can
tell us
you
a little
introduce
about
yourself
yourself?
and tell us a little about yourself?
How you doing? My name's Alfred Paige. I run Page One Comics, and like Mr. Fuller said, I do chess along with Blowtorch, Pinpoint, and some new titles that's coming up, and just enjoy writing comic books and enjoy the comic book mainstream.
So how do you get?
So how
Did you first get started
did you first get started
interested in comics and
interested
storytelling?
in comics and storytelling?
Just being a fan of as a kid, just being a fan of X-Men and stuff like that, and reading and sitting outside with your friends reading comic books and stuff like that. Just
Okay.
enjoying the world building aspect that these creators had.
So where are you
So
from,
where are
and
you from? And
how did it affect your
how
background
did
in
it
the work?
affect your background in the work?
I'm from New York, so
Spider-Man
yeah,
play
I'm
a
in New
good
York.
role.
Spider-Man play a good role?
Say again?
Did Spider-Man play a good role in your?
Big role in your?
Yeah, I mean, the idea of the Manhattan heroes and stuff like that, or heroes that's in certain neighborhoods like a Daredevil and Hell's Kitchen and stuff like that, so yeah, that you had a relationship to it.
Okay.
What draw you to the world
to
of
the
comics
world of
specifically?
comics
Like any kind of
specifically? Like
specific thing
any
you can
kind
think
of
of?
specific thing you can think of?
I like action, so I like trying to write a comic book in the style of action of the movies that I like to watch.
Okay.
Okay.
How many projects
How
have
many
you worked
projects have you
on?
worked
And can
on?
you
Can you
highlight a few of the key
highlight
details
the
for
key
them?
details for them?
I worked on chess, a couple of side projects that's all related to chess, like Pinpoint, Blowtorch, Aliens Passage, City of Heroes, and things like that. So everything had a relationship to do with chess. And this year is the first time I'm doing something brand new outside of chess.
Okay, so it sounds like
you
you can just build an entire
build an
world
entire
like
world
Marvel did, where it's
like
like
Marvel did, where
there's
it's
the
like there's
X-Men
the
and the
X-Men
Spider-Man and
and
all
the
they can come in
Spider-Man
and
and
out
all
into
they
the
can come
world.
in and out into the world.
That's correct. Yeah. So like say chess would be like the X-Men main title, and then like a Wolverine, an Iceman, a Storm. And that's playing the same characters in different storylines.
Okay.
Who
and what has been your biggest
what has
influence
been
on
your
your
biggest
career thus
influence
far?
on your career thus far?
I'm sorry, say again?
What or who has been the
What
biggest
or who has been the
influence
biggest
on your career thus
influence
far?
on your career thus far?
90s Image. Everybody had the freedom to just explore their own direction of stories, even with similar origins, but how they branch out into their own is how the creators do it.
Oh yeah,
So that
because
was a big influence on me.
I remember one of my friends was
one of my friends
in
was
video production, talks about the
production, talks
multiverse
about the
or just
multiverse or just
storytelling.
storytelling.
It's like the concept
It's like
of
the concept
you're not
of
building a
you're not
storyline but
building
an
a
entire
storyline
world
but an entire world
around that story.
around that story.
That's
and
correct.
everybody
And everybody,
Yeah, so you could start off with one thing. I keep my stories more realistic and following news or the latest games or something like that. The influences is something current. So I know some people do like outer space or alternative worlds or back in the days or in the future and stuff like that, and really have put that creative palette into it. But me, I stick with what the latest news is, because my team's just an action espionage team. So I could watch the news and something happens, I could be like, oh, that's a story. I just could constantly keep writing something that's happening off the influences of the
Oh,
news or
that's
what's
a
going
tough
on.
gig.
That's a tough gig.
When I was back in
When I
Jamaica
was back in
doing
Jamaica doing
school giants quiz, I was
school
training with the
giants
team.
quiz, I was training with the team.
One of the
Um,
toughest
One of
things to
the
always be
toughest things
pressed
to
up was
always be
current
pressed
events
up was current
because anything
events
that came in
because
the news the
anything that came
following
to the
day
news
is
the
something you have to
following
be
day is
pressed
something you
on.
have to be
And
pressed
if
on.
you weren't, and if they
If you
asked that
weren't,
question you
and if
didn't
they
know,
ask that question you
you're
didn't
out of
know,
luck.
you're out of luck.
You can't study it.
You
You
can't
just have to
study
know
it.
it.
Yeah,
Just have to know it.
there's always something going on in the world that could be influenced. If you're doing an action espionage storyline, so that's what chess is. Chess is like a strategic. It's a personal strategic strike team. So they could react. How I watch the news or something that's going on. How would I react to it? And that's how I start writing the script.
Actually, it's funny because now
Actually,
that
it's
kind
funny
of
because
brings us
now that
into the
kind of brings
second
us
part
into the
of
second
our
part of
section of
our
this
section of
conversation that we're
this
having, and that's
conversation that
like
we're having,
the
and that's
comic
like
book and kind
the
of just
comic book and kind of just.
So, can you tell us
So,
about the
can you
current
tell us
comic
about the
book
current
project
comic book
chess
project
and what it's
chess
about?
and what
So
it's
everyone kind of
about?
knows
So
what it's
everyone
about.
kind of knows what it's about.
Chess itself, like I said, is about a strategic personal espionage strike team. So they work for a gentleman named Avery Davis, and Avery Davis is just he got tired of the government ties and restrictions that's going on and the disagreements. So he just happened to have the position to put together his own strike team that he can have act out on what he sees fits.
Okay, sounds
So
like Mission
Sounds like
Impossible
Mission
and Charlie's
Impossible and
Angels
Charlie's
kind of vibe.
Angels kind of
yeah,
vibe.
it's definitely in the mix of that type of action. Charlie's Angels, G.I. Joe, and any one of those type of actions. So, but it's not government tied. It's a personal strike team, so they could act on anything.
Actually, that brings me
Actually,
into
that
like the
brings
second
me
question.
into
What
the second question.
inspires
What
you to
inspires
create this
you
project?
to create this project?
The news, just when I was younger, the games that used to come out on that you was playing, he's always playing like Metal Gear Solid or Ghost in the Shell or something like that has all these games that has a mission,
Mm-hmm.
right? So you apply that mission to how you write a storyline or break down a script, and then you have your own characters. How would they do it? How can you make them do it, or what's different about it, or what's the dimension of how you write it. So if you ever wanted to write a game, at one time I wanted to write games. When I used to play these games when they first came out. Do you want to write movies? So it's like, yeah, I can write the movie. If I can write X-Men my own way, how will I write it? So you write it, but you use your own characters. You know what I mean? So there's a movie that like Tango and Cash back in the days. Right, I would do this, or I would have a character do this, and then you write that in the script, and now you got your own script, your own character to play with, and how you envision them doing certain things.
Okay.
It's just a it's just a fun process to have your own characters and your own imagination, how you want to create, how they do things, and how they react to things.
So, what was the theme or message you're trying to
you're
convey
trying to
in
convey
Project
in Project
C.H.E.S.S?
There's a response to everything, and there's a consequence to everything. So, of course, in comic books, you make up your own threats or you make up your own adversaries, right?
Hmm.
So, you make up a conflict that looks good on paper. You know what I mean? So, you make up villains and you make up powers, and my characters happen not to have no powers. I wanted to do characters that did not have powers. But what they go against is the same thing that characters with powers will go against. So, like the enemies might have powers, or the bad guy at the time I have all these powers, and it'd be like, if you could write Batman versus Superman all the time, how would Batman be Superman, right? So it's like, how would these characters that's limited in what they could do tackle a situation that you would need a Superman or Incredible Hulk or the Avengers or something like that. Characters with all these powers and all that stuff to it's the regular to deal with this situation. Now you gotta write these characters. How do they deal with the situation? They have no powers at all. They just have whatever their skill set is.
So what was the
and
most?
That just makes it fun. That just makes it fun to write.
I respect that. So what has been the most challenging part of creating the project then for you thus far?
Most challenging?
Yeah.
The side projects. You know, I wanted to build a relationship with the characters, with the reader. So, you know, every character has a different thing about them. So, you know, on top of writing chess, I wrote side projects like Pinpoint. I wrote Blowtorch. I wrote Aliens Passage. Early on, I wrote A Footpath, you know, City of Heroes. So when you read the side projects, it gives a different direction than chess. Chess, of course, is the main title, so it's the building up title. You know, you gotta introduce the characters, you gotta introduce the action, you gotta introduce the bad guys, you gotta introduce the conflict. Right? When you write the side projects, you could write it the way you want. Like, oh, we're just going straight into this character, or the way he is with this, or you're just going to go straight into that. You don't have to do the build up because all that is in the main titles. When you do the side titles, it's more challenging, but it's more fun because you don't have to do the backstory.
So what made you get into what I'm saying? So it's like you did a few characters, a few side projects, and a lot of project management that you put in there when you're talking about that. So the question really is, how do you is your biggest issue like project management in terms of managing these different spin-offs when you're doing them, so that you don't lose track of the initial project while doing the we were trying to fill the gap in the main one what kind of made you do that?
Because when you're doing the main project, you gotta do a certain ingredient style to how you write a teen comic book. Mm-hmm. When you're doing the side project, you could change it up. So in the teen comic book, especially when you got so many characters, you're trying to build their personalities to the reader.
Okay.
When you go to the side projects, I write Pinpoint, I don't have to build the other characters. I could go straight to who he is as a character and let that character part of him shine a lot more than you would see in chess. You know what I mean? So like you're writing X-Men and you gotta write Cyclops, Thor, Wolverine, on all these people. You gotta write why they fighting whoever the villain is and the relationships with each other and stuff like that. But you don't really get to tackle who that person is by himself. Then you write Wolverine, and now you could have him jumping from trees and chlorine and calling everybody above and smoking a cigar. And you know, you don't have to build up. You don't have to build up the energy around why the team has to go to this and the conflict and build up that storyline. You just go right into the character and have more fun with how the character.
It's a very interesting thing because I'm thinking of it from a manga standpoint, right? Where mangas usually, let's say they end for the season, they're waiting for the next season, and they kind of fill that gap with like comics, right? If I think about like Rumor Tempest, for example, how I became this sign for right now, and did a big step off of the season, but there was always little side projects in there where they was talking about some random stuff in the village. And I'm looking at it from the standpoint and the reason I'm asking this question is because I want some of the people that I just finished to kind of understand how your brain works and how more seasoned comic book artist things. Like you have your main project you're working on, you're building it out. But you have to build a timeline. We launched this, we're pushing this out. But now we have some time right here. Let's put some little extra sauce on it. We didn't get to build this guy up because we feel like it's a good character, but we didn't get to make him shine too good right now. This is the opportunity to do that right here. Or stuff like that. Because even when I'm thinking about how would I, my season ended yesterday, and now I'm waiting for the fall to lose season 2. But I'm looking at it from standpoint, during that period, let's do something fun with it. And so when you're talking about it, for example, you did all these extra kind of things, and I want to find out that was where your mindset was. I did chess, but now I want to work on striker while I'm waiting for the next season for chess. And also that leads to my second question: like, how many episodes do you have planned for the series of chess?
Well, chess been out for years. I started chess like three times. Like I done did it 3 volumes. So the last volume that just came out was out through Diamond, and it had good response. So, and then I'm doing these side projects now just to keep people into the characters. So I just did Pinpoint Alien's Passage and re-released it in color. The response to that has been good, and that's just about 2 of the characters don't get along. Finding Alien Invasion, like I said, a more fun read because you don't go to the backstory. It's just a more fun read. 2 of the characters don't get along as they fight among each other after they fight an alien invasion. So you get to see the different sides of the characters, and then when people get that relationship with, say, Pinpoint or Blowtorch or one of the characters on the team, and then they come back and read chess, it changed the relationship with that character, how that character acts in the team setting than when they're by themselves in the solo book.
I definitely understand the importance of being able to do that, because even when I'm writing, working on my project, it's kind of like, how do we decide how much time we put on writing the backstory? Sometimes it's like you don't want to do it because the flashbacks can be annoying. So you want to be able to jump part of it, but then address it later. I think a lot of it is like that.
Yeah, when you look at any review, when you send your comic books to reviews, and especially for teen comic books, the review always says, "Oh, it's some too many characters to understand who's who or relationship wise or whatever," because there's multiple characters. So you're not understanding the characters; you have to understand the story. So your emphasis is on the story, not the characters.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to do side projects. Now you can make your emphasis the characters and not just as much as the story. Why is this character here? You can make this character's personality be the story, no matter what the situation is going on. So that you have more fun or creation with that character, especially if you see that character a different way. Now you have the reader see that character how you see that character. You know what I mean? Because you can break away from the formula of the teen comic book.
That's a great advice to everyone that's going to do. Actually, that brings me to my second question. My next question. What advice would you give to an experienced comic book creator that's just getting started? And as a seasoned, what kind of advice would you give them?
Say the last part again.
What advice would you give an aspiring comic book artist, comic book creator?
Enjoy what you write. If you can enjoy what you write, no matter what the field is, whatever the genre is, or what the story is, or direction, fantasy, sci-fi, whatever it is, enjoy what you write, because if you could make the reader feel that you enjoy what you're writing, then you'll get a fan base. You know what I mean? Don't overthink it. Don't hurt yourself. Don't try to be too complicated with it. Enjoy what you write. Find a direction that you enjoy, and when the reader reads it and he could feel what you enjoy, and he could feel that same influence, then he could relate to your project the same way you relate to it. So when you get the feedback, it's like, hey, you're writing a girl that a girl that could fly, got butterfly wings, but she's, so you write something that's personal, or something that you enjoy, and somebody reading it and they could relate to that, or they've been through that scenario, they could feel it in your writing. So that's what you want to do. You want to tag into your, not make something too complicated, but it gets difficult to read. You know what I mean?
A little bit about you, because we want to talk about not just the comic, but we want to talk about you as a creator as well. How do you balance your creative work and the other aspects of your life?
I started writing as a hobby.
Okay.
I started writing as a hobby, and now I do it more frequent because I have time. And I just enjoy it. Because it's like some people have habits that take them away for the day and the stress of the day. That's my habit. writing and putting these together a plot or a story, or trying to keep up with it as much as I can, financially at least. You know what I mean? So I just enjoy it. It takes you away. You know what I mean, for what's going on.
So
I love about this is like each time we go into a topic, we get to jump into something else. Like right now, my biggest question is, what's your favorite thing about being a comic book artist?
A comic book writer, just the imagination and the directions that you could play with, the influences. You could go outside and see kids playing in the street, playing basketball or something in the street, and get an influence. You could see a kid do something and be like, oh, that's cool. You know what I mean? I got a kid outside 2 days ago. He's doing backflips, and he's not a gymnast. He never been to a gymnast class or a trainer or nothing. He's out there doing flips on the grass and doing all types of stuff. But he just naturally has that natural agility. Nobody trained him. He just watched on TV and started doing it himself. And you're sitting there looking at him like, this kid is crazy. He's out there, no shoes on. He's flipping around. And I'm like, yo, you went to gymnast class? No, I just saw it on TV and decided to try it. And that's all it took. The kid's like 7 years old. He's out there flipping. He's out there flipping and jumping and stuff you see on movies.
Okay.
And you take that, and you could take that and take that kid, give him a code name, put him on a mission, and have him, anything could be an influence. You know what I mean? So.
Yo, that's so hilarious.
I mean, it's just like that. I mean, there's people out there that's naturally gifted in something, and then you take a scenario. You know what I'm saying? Look at the scenarios that's going on in the world. You know what I mean? So you add one and one together, and you got a story.
Okay. So what is? Share a memorable experience you had on your journey thus far with your comic.
Share a moment or experience?
Yeah, it could have been like a comic. Could be like when you did
I was going to say that Comic-Con. Comic-Con is there's no better feeling than people that read your comic book and they read a line of your comic books. So now they're a fan base. So they look for your next comic book. So you go to a Comic-Con and there's people there waiting for you. You know what I mean? Usually you're the one going there to look for somebody else, right? We all started out going to look for Jim Lee or whoever our influences was, right? Stan Lee, whoever your influence was in comic books. You usually go to a Comic-Con and look for them. And you start going to a Comic-Con and people start coming looking for you. That's a great feeling.
How long did it took you to get to that point when you started seeing people actually seeking you out?
I'd say it really got a lot more frequent. I would say about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I mean, when I started really getting right back into writing, like full time, and people are coming to me like, I read this book. Yeah, I mean, because you start off as a habit, so you don't do the cons, so you're not visible. It's only recently I became more visible at cons and stuff like that. So now they got a face, they know who you are, so they follow you. I had a person follow me from one con to another just to get the new issue, and they travel too. So you're like, oh, that's great. You know what I'm saying? So you go there and people are waiting for you to sign for your signature. Remember, you used to go for other people's signature. Can I get your autograph, Jim Lee? Can I get your autograph, Stan Lee? Can I get your autograph, Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld? You asking these people for their autograph on their comic books, and now people asking you for your autograph on your comic book. So I would say that's the best feeling.
How do you see the future of your comic evolving, especially on digital and social platforms?
All I gotta do is turn on the TV. It's that easy for me. I mean, because I follow current events. So there's always something going on. Unfortunately, there's always something negative going on. Unfortunately, there's something negative going on. You know what I mean? You just can't get away from it. It's something. School shootings, missing bombs, missing ships, missing people, an attack here, attack there, politics on this, politics on that. There's always something going on. unfortunately, that's negative in the news. So if for the stories that I write, which is espionage style story or stuff like that, that influence is always there. It's never going to go away because it's always going to be news to watch.
So where can people find
and purchase your project?
Page One Comics, Comicsburg is the website, and my newest project was in Diamond. It's last month. It's called Daisy Chain, Dark Desires #1. That's be the newest comic book coming out this year.
Okay.
And
how can you support you? Are they follow social media? Have a what do they call it?
I have an exclusive page on Comic Exposure. If you look on comicexposure.com and scroll down to the different pages, it's a Page One Comics link. You could get all my comic books. And also I'm distributed through Diamond, so any comic book store that you go to, you could also get my comic books.
So who would you like to thank that helped you along the way? Who's your shout outs?
Who's your shout outs gonna be?
Everybody that's been part of my comic books, the colorists, the writers, the artists, letterers. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work with a fantastic team on my projects and meet people. So yeah, everybody gets the same credit. It's nobody above the other. Everybody has their piece that fits the puzzle of what a comic book is. Everybody, everything from lettering to artwork to inkers, they're all just as important. So the value is the same for everybody.
So what's next for you for Project C.H.E.S.S? What's next?
C.H.E.S.S, I'll be doing a new story in 2025, especially with one of the characters named Footpath that I did a story with Jonathan Hendrick and artwork by Marcelo Salaza. Look for that in 2025. But my next project right now is a crime thriller called Daisy Chain. Yeah, I work with Mike Lynch, Igor, and Sade Timifonte, and that's my first try at a crime thriller.
Okay.
And that'll be the next project coming out. That's in stores in July 10th. Daisy Chain, Dark Desires.
Are people coming to you and offering these collabs, or you just going out and starting these things and just getting the people involved?
I kind of right now I stick to what my ideas are. I did write for some other people at times. It's a little bit harder to write for a character that, for me, it's harder to write for a character that I didn't make up in my head or I didn't make my own outline for. I tried writing for other people's characters. I've done it. Sometimes it can be fun if the freedom's there, but some people, like characters are like, hey, this guy's super strong. He's invincible. He's invulnerable. He could push the sun. You know what I mean? Like, it's like it's too complicated for me. So it's not the type of characters that I kind of relate to.
You like being your own boss, man. I understand it. I appreciate it. Is there anything you want to say to the audience before we wrap up? About your
definitely go pick up Daisy Chain, my first try at a crime thriller. I'm writing it with an incredible writer named Mike Lynch. Definitely check out Daisy Chain, Dark Desires #1 in stores, July 10th, I believe. Page One Comics, Comicsburg. Any comic book store, you could pick it up. And let me know how you feel about my first try at a crime thriller.
Okay, guys. All right, everyone. I appreciate you paying attention and listening to our podcast. This is Behind the Comics with Sean. We have Alfred with us, giving us the lowdown of his experience as an artist, a creator, and his background in the project. Hopefully see him around again. And for the rest of everybody else, please enjoy the rest of your night. And make sure you bring a copy of his in this book. All right. I'm going to end the stream.